Ugly morning as me. Because I'm feeling really great just being in everybody's presence right now. I just feel a lot of good spirit, and I'm gonna channel that. So I wrote a lot about healing the environment and healing ourselves, how it's interconnected. Healing the environment and ourselves is a part of the work concerning environmental justice. We must center holistic ways of living now, being that we are in the 11th hour. Right now, the climate catastrophe has reached certain tipping points. Yeah. Meaning that we do not want to get to a point where there are other tipping points that are pushed afterwards. Yeah. So to avoid further chaos, we have to acknowledge the solutions that are already presented in front of us. Intuitive. We know how to heal ourselves and the land that provides for us. The earth, being so thoughtful, has already given us so many solutions, y'all. Like, I'm gonna give you some examples. There's an herb and a bacteria and a fungi that can literally break down plastic and turn it into something the earth can use. All of the things we need to heal the environment already exist in nature. It's about how we use it, how we utilize it. So, nature has already given us the solutions. We need to utilize and transform our way of living, as we have to be radically aggressive. And I mean radically aggressive in how we combat climate change. Because companies and corporations have known for decades, and they've been radically aggressive in the worst ways possible, ignoring the health of everyday living people who don't have as much wealth as those. Ignoring the well-being of native tribes by trying to build pipelines through indigenous land, trying to tear the earth asunder. Pachamama doesn't like that, okay? That's why I call the earth Pachamama, because she is our mama, okay? She don't like that. Who wants to be torn asunder and have toxic infrastructure put through them? Nobody. It don't make any sense. So we have to be radically aggressive to transform our way of living and bringing forth a holistic way of being. We do not want to restore the current system as is, but rather transform and go beyond existing structures. Because today, we do live in a colonialist state. We know that. What the fuck is Wall Street doing for humanity? All this wealth can be used to heal all the hurt that's going on with the climate catastrophe. And indigenous-centered ways of being would not betray us, like this capitalistic way of being that we live under right now. In an indigenous system, we would all be protected. We would all be known as the holy beings we are, as the divine sacred beings that we are. Under an indigenous system, native systems honor the land, Pachamama, and our families. We are not treated as expendable. We will not have our work be dependent on our output and what we're able to provide for the system, but as something inherent inside of us. Everybody is born with their worth inherently inside of them. But this capitalistic system tries to make us seem otherwise, when that is not the case. Inherently, our birthright and that of generations today is to have access to clean air, water, and safe housing. And climate change influences all of these things. Those are our birthrights. Clean air, water, and housing. Generations today need access and deserve access to all three of those things. Say it with me. Clean air.
Clean air.
Clean water.
Clean water.
And safe housing.
Safe housing.
Everybody deserves those three things.
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 Inherently, we know our worth. We know our divine birthrights. We might live in a system that might might want to make it seem otherwise. Okay? But we know what the case is. We know that every day we wake up, we breathe in the blessed sacred air going into our lungs. We breathe in healing. We breathe out and we transmute the pain that comes with living under a capitalist system. So because I'm about to go off, y'all. Without those who fail to see how their excess wealth can have the capacity to combat these issues financially, they have been squandering all the responsibilities that they have to combat this issue I'm gonna tell y'all a little something. On Twitter earlier this week, I know y'all know who Elon Musk is.
Oh yeah.
Whoa! Right. Little rich boy billionaire. He has the money to solve so many things right now. And this is just one example of somebody with excess wealth. And he chooses to focus on sending things towards space. Y'all. What is that doing? How does that help combat the climate crisis in any capacity, any way, shape, or form? If you have so much wealth that you can literally solve the housing crisis in this country alone, when there are generations today in this country who do not have access to clean air, water, and safe housing, and you're sending stuff to space, you need to ask yourself what your priorities are.
Yes.
There is so much wealth inequality that can literally just be utilized to heal us. If we think about it in the right ways, not even, I'm gonna take a moment to reflect. I'm just getting so amped up right now. When we take a moment to look at these issues, as interconnected as they are, the Line 3 fight, the Dakota Access Pipeline fight, the No North Brooklyn Pipeline fight, when we see the interrelatedness of these issues, we start to understand that this colonial system is fucking crumbling. It is deteriorating. And they knows that. That's why they're fighting so hard to survive. Because they know they are on their last legs. We need to make fossil fuel infrastructure and investing extinct. Because at the end of the day, it isn't serving anybody but corporate shareholders. What we need is investing in 100% renewables, public power now, okay? We need accountability, that's why we need public power. And we need a Green New Deal. Say it with me, Green New Deal.
Green New Deal.
Okay, y'all know what's up. Green New Deal today, baby. Today, not tomorrow. Because the future is now. Our future is now. If we fail to see the interconnectedness of these issues, which we aren't because we are here. So we already got our first step and we know what's up. We heal together. Fighting this together. I have a book in my bag I want to show y'all. Because I just think it's so beautiful that everybody in some capacity has the power to make a difference. No one is too small to make a difference. I was reading the IPCC report. Greta posts about this on Twitter. The IPC is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. So it's multiple areas of government coming together to study the effects of climate change worldwide. And on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, on their website, the IPC report, they're going into their sixth cycle. Right now, they're talking about how the water cycle is being affected by climate change. Everybody deserves access to clean water, period. Water is a human right. And also, water is a living being. We have to see the divinity in our water. I will tell you this, before you drink water, thank her. You will notice how the difference in how it nourishes you when you thank the water before you drink it. So the IPC report states that we only have a decade, but I'm cutting that into 6 years because they say a decade, but if we aggressively continue to combat climate change in the next 6 years, with the solutions I've already said, there are herbs that can break down plastic, bacteria, mushroom spores that can break down plastic and turn it into something that we can use again. We have the solutions. Pachamama has given us the solutions already. So I just ask that as we be more mindful moving forward, that we act on these solutions. Y'all, I'm gonna take a herbal class about how I can physically get into contact with these and just put them somewhere with a lot of plastic trash. That way it can break it down, and in the course of a few weeks to a month, it will literally become something that the earth can use again. So just continue to educate yourself. I'm just grateful that everybody is here. I'm grateful to Pachamama and the land that we are on right now, which is sacred land. This is sacred land. We are all sacred beings on this sacred land, and I'm grateful to everybody that is here. And remember, nobody is too small to make a difference.
Yes.
I said.